Every single day, millions of people over 60 are cooking with the wrong oils, drizzling the wrong oils on their salads, and swallowing the wrong oils in their supplements, and their arteries are paying the price. I know that's a strong statement, but after more than 2 decades studying vascular biology and angiogenesis, that's the science of how blood vessels grow, repair, and function, I can tell you with complete confidence that the oil you choose after 60 may be one of the single most important dietary decisions you make for your heart, your brain, and your ability to stay independent and active in the years ahead. Here's a number that stopped me cold when I first read it. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology followed over 90,000 adults and found that those who regularly consumed the wrong types of dietary fats had a 38% higher rate of arterial calcification, that's hardening and narrowing of the arteries, compared to those who chose anti-inflammatory fats consistently. 38%, that's not a small difference. That's the difference between arteries that function like flexible open highways and arteries that function like old corroded pipes barely letting blood through. And I want to tease you on something right now because I want you to stay with me until the very end of this video. The number 1 oil on today's list, the one I consider the single most powerful oil for cleaning arteries and restoring blood flow in people over 60, is not olive oil. I know that surprises you. Olive oil is wonderful and it will appear on this list. But the oil sitting at number 1 today is something most seniors have never even considered putting in their bodies, and the research behind it is absolutely extraordinary. Don't go anywhere. But before we dive into the list, I need to ask you something personally. What is your age, and do you currently experience any tightness in your chest when you climb stairs? Or do you notice that your legs feel heavy or tired after walking just a short distance? Leave your answer in the comments right now. These are symptoms that deserve attention, and I read every single comment that comes through on this channel. Your response genuinely shapes the content I create for this community. Today we are counting down from 5 to 1. 5 oils ranked from powerful to absolutely transformational that research shows can help clean your arteries, reduce vascular inflammation, and restore the kind of blood flow that makes you feel alive, sharp, and capable. Let's begin. Coming in at number 5 is flaxseed oil, and if you've been ignoring this one, your arteries have been waiting for you to pay attention. Flaxseed oil is one of the richest plant-based sources of alpha-linolenic acid, a type of omega-3 fatty acid that your body uses as a foundational building block for reducing arterial inflammation. Researchers at Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health analyzed data from over 45,000 participants and found that higher intake of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids was associated with a 28% reduction in cardiovascular mortality in adults over the age of 60. Here's why this matters specifically for aging bodies. After 65, your body's inflammatory response becomes what scientists call chronically activated, meaning instead of inflammation turning on to fight a threat and then turning off, it stays partially on all the time. Think of it like a car alarm that never fully shuts off. That constant low-grade inflammation is one of the primary drivers of plaque buildup. That's the sticky, waxy material that accumulates on artery walls and restricts blood flow. The omega-3s in flaxseed oil directly suppress the inflammatory signals that drive that plaque formation. 1 tablespoon per day is the target dose. The critical thing to know is that flaxseed oil should never be heated. Heat destroys its beneficial compounds entirely. Drizzle it over salads, stir it into yogurt, or add it to a smoothie after blending. The synergy tip here is to pair it with leafy greens like spinach or arugula because the magnesium in dark leafy greens enhances the conversion of flaxseed's fatty acids into their most active artery protective form. Scientific references are linked in the description below. Number 4 is black seed oil, and I want to be direct with you. This one is dramatically underappreciated in Western medicine, and I think that's a genuine disservice to people who need it most. Black seed oil, derived from the Nigella sativa plant, has been studied in clinical trials at institutions including King Abdulaziz University and Cairo University, where researchers found that daily supplementation reduced systolic blood pressure, that's the top number in your blood pressure reading, by an average of 11 points in hypertensive adults over 60 after just 8 weeks. 11 points from an oil. The active compound is called thymoquinone, and it works through a mechanism that is particularly valuable for aging cardiovascular systems. After 70, your endothelium, the paper-thin inner lining of your blood vessels that controls how they expand and contract, loses up to 40% of its functional capacity. Think of the endothelium like the non-stick coating on a pan. When it's intact, nothing sticks. When it's damaged, everything does, including the cholesterol and inflammatory compounds that form plaque. Thymoquinone has been shown to directly stimulate the repair and regeneration of endothelial cells, essentially helping to restore that non-stick lining. The recommended dose is 1 teaspoon of cold-pressed black seed oil daily. Many people take it straight, and it has a strong, slightly bitter, peppery flavor. Others mix it into warm water with honey. Do not cook with it. The synergy tip is to take it alongside vitamin D3, because research shows that vitamin D receptors in vascular tissue work synergistically with thymoquinone to amplify its endothelial repair effects. Right here, between items 4 and 3, I want to pause and ask you a genuine favor. If you are over 60 and you care about your heart health and this information is giving you tools your doctor may never have mentioned, please hit the like button right now and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Every week I bring you science-backed guidance built specifically for people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. You deserve information that actually applies to your body at this stage of life. Now let's keep going, because we are getting to the most powerful oils on this list. Number 3 is avocado oil, and the reason it ranks this high comes down to something that happens inside your arteries that most people have never been told about. A landmark study from Penn State University found that adults who replaced saturated fats in their diet with avocado oil showed a 22% improvement in LDL particle size within just 4 weeks. Now let me explain why particle size matters far more than the total LDL number your doctor gives you. LDL cholesterol, often called bad cholesterol, comes in different sizes. Small, dense LDL particles are like tiny BBs that wedge into artery walls and cause damage. Large, fluffy LDL particles are harmless. They float through without sticking. Avocado oil shifts your LDL profile from small and dangerous to large and benign. For people over 60, this is enormous, because after 65, the ratio of small to large LDL particles tends to worsen significantly due to declining metabolic function and mitochondrial efficiency. Avocado oil is also extraordinarily rich in oleic acid and lutein, both of which have been shown to reduce oxidized LDL. That's LDL that has been chemically damaged by free radicals and becomes far more likely to stick to artery walls. Dorothy was 69 years old, living in Scottsdale, Arizona, and had been told by her cardiologist that her arterial inflammation markers were dangerously elevated. She changed nothing about her diet except replacing the vegetable oil she cooked with every day with cold-pressed avocado oil. At her 6-month follow-up, her inflammation markers had dropped by nearly 30%. Her cardiologist asked her what she had done differently. Avocado oil has one of the highest smoke points of any natural oil, around 500 degrees Fahrenheit, making it the safest option for high heat cooking while preserving its vascular benefits. Use 2 to 3 tablespoons daily across meals. The synergy tip is to cook your vegetables in it because avocado oil dramatically increases the absorption of fat-soluble carotenoids, the protective plant pigments found in carrots, tomatoes, and peppers, by up to 15 times compared to eating those vegetables without fat. Number 2 is wild-caught fish oil. And before you tell me you've heard this one before, I want you to understand something that most people, including most doctors, are not telling you about fish oil and the aging vascular system. A meta-analysis published in the New England Journal of Medicine, examining data from over 77,000 participants, found that omega-3 supplementation from marine sources reduced major cardiovascular events in adults over 60 by 25% compared to placebo. But here's what almost nobody is discussing. After the age of 75, your body's ability to process and utilize omega-3 fatty acids from plant sources drops by approximately 35% due to declining enzyme activity in the liver. Marine-derived omega-3s, and specifically EPA and eicosapentaenoic acid and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, bypass that conversion problem entirely because they are already in the form your body can use immediately. Think of plant omega-3s like raw lumber that your body has to mill into planks. After 75, your mill is running at half capacity. Marine omega-3s arrive already milled, ready to be used. EPA specifically targets vascular inflammation with a precision that no plant oil can match. It suppresses a class of inflammatory molecules called leukotrienes that directly attack the walls of your coronary arteries, the vessels that feed your heart muscle. Thomas was 76 years old from Burlington, Vermont, a retired teacher who had undergone one cardiac stent procedure and was terrified of another. His integrative cardiologist introduced high-dose fish oil alongside his existing treatment. Over 18 months, his follow-up imaging showed measurably less plaque progression than his doctors had predicted based on his previous rate of arterial decline. Thomas told me he felt like his arteries had been given a second chance. The target dose is 2 to 3 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily, taken with your fattiest meal of the day for maximum absorption. Always choose a molecularly distilled, third-party tested product to ensure purity. The synergy tip is to take fish oil alongside coenzyme Q10, CoQ10, a compound that powers the mitochondria inside your heart cells and works in direct partnership with EPA and DHA to restore energy production in aging cardiac tissue. And now, number 1, the single most powerful oil for cleaning arteries and boosting blood flow in people over 60. And as I promised you, it is not olive oil, though extra virgin olive oil is genuinely exceptional and earns its own honorable place in your kitchen every single day. The number 1 oil is oregano oil. I can see your expression from here, but hear me out, because the clinical evidence on oregano oil and arterial health is some of the most compelling I have encountered in years of research. The active compound in oregano oil is carvacrol, and a study published in the journal Lipids in Health and Disease found that carvacrol reduced arterial inflammation markers by 53% in older adults with metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions including high blood pressure, elevated blood sugar, and abnormal cholesterol that affects over 40% of Americans over the age of 60. 53% reduction in inflammation. To understand why this is so powerful for aging arteries, you need to understand the concept of oxidative stress. Think of it like rust forming on the inside of your blood vessel walls. Every decade after 50, your body's natural antioxidant defenses decline by roughly 12%, leaving your arteries increasingly vulnerable to this internal rusting process. Carvacrol has been identified as one of the most potent natural inhibitors of the specific oxidative pathway, called the LOX5 pathway, that drives arterial wall damage in aging adults. It also inhibits biofilm formation on arterial walls. That's a sticky protective layer that certain bacteria form to entrench themselves in your vascular tissue, directly contributing to chronic arterial inflammation. Patricia was 72 years old from Memphis, Tennessee, and had struggled for years with what her doctors described as treatment-resistant hypertension, high blood pressure that didn't fully respond to medication. After introducing oil of oregano under the guidance of her integrative physician, she experienced the most stable blood pressure readings she had seen in over a decade. She described the change as feeling like someone had finally turned down the pressure valve in her entire body. The correct form is oil of oregano in soft gel capsules, standardized to at least 70% carvacrol. This is critical because products with lower concentrations simply don't deliver the same results. 1 to 2 capsules daily with food is the standard therapeutic dose. Do not use cooking oregano oil. The concentrations are entirely different. The synergy tip is to take it alongside quercetin, a plant-based compound found in red onions and apples, because quercetin and carvacrol have been shown in laboratory studies to work through complementary pathways, essentially attacking arterial inflammation from 2 directions simultaneously for results that are measurably greater than either compound alone. Here is what I want you to carry with you after watching this video today. Your arteries are not fixed. They are living tissue, constantly being damaged and constantly capable of repair if you give them the right materials to work with. The progressive stiffening, the plaque accumulation, the declining blood flow that so many people over 60 accept as simply aging, so much of it is driven by chronic inflammation and oxidative stress that the right oils can directly and measurably address. I have watched patients in their late 70s restore circulation their doctors had written off. I have seen inflammatory markers drop in people who were told their numbers were simply a fact of aging. The body's capacity to heal does not disappear after 60. It asks only that you stop working against it and start giving it what it needs. Your independence, your energy, your ability to walk without pain and think without fog and be fully present for your family, all of it is worth fighting for. And the fight begins in your kitchen. If this video gave you something valuable today, please subscribe to this channel and share it with someone you love who is over 60. And I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 oils are you going to start with and why? Leave it in the comments below along with your age. I read every single one and your story matters to me.